Department. It's nice to see all you guys coming in here today. We have our active shooter training today. It's going to be really good. I'm excited for it. Carol Williams and Tom Bridges. I'm going to introduce them here in just a moment, just let everybody kind of get settled. So, for those of you who already haven't grabbed the water, there are more waters in the back. Everybody, a lot of folks are here for the award ceremony. Bathrooms are out the store right down the hall. So we're going to be here for a little while today, but we are going to have a break. Is that correct?
Oh,
okay. We are going to have to. So, a lot of you might remember Carol and Dawn from the award ceremony. Carol did an amazing job at singing for us, so we're very lucky to have him. But I'm going to just really briefly give a professional introduction for both of them. Mr. Harold Williams is the owner and CEO of PSL Consulting and Security Services, where the mission is proactively saving lives. He is a retired Baltimore, streaming. I was going to say never mind, sorry. He is a retired Baltimore County police officer with a background of over 30 plus years and extensive law enforcement experience in security management. He's a former administrative deputy chief of police and security for the Department of Labor, Licensing and Regulation. And he's also a former SWAT team member and has a solid background in training and implementing security activities. We have a long list here, but I'm going to move on over to
and this means it's on.
He specializes in community relations and currently serves on the crisis negotiation team. He's also spent 20 years training school safety professionals across the country. So very excited to have both of these gentlemen here with you guys today. And I'm going to go ahead and hand it on over to Mr. Harold Williams. Who's first? Who's first? And so I don't know that these phones are going to use. Do you guys know the mic?
Oh, think we will.
I've spent the last 25 years working in high school with kids, so there's nothing you can possibly do that very throws them off. Okay, we are absolutely excited to be here. Harold and I present all over everywhere. And we were the same PowerPoint presentation, 25 straight days. Every presentation. No. Okay. Every presentation would be different. Because what we basically do, we're going to give you the same content, but what ends up happening is we end up being off of the crowd. And I would like to say that we believe strongly in the title of the organization, which is proactively saving lives, which is what you guys do every single day. So what we want to do in this active shooter / active saving training is we want to provide you with strategies that we use within our profession. And I know that when we look at the jobs that we do, there is nothing more sacred than service. And when we look at the job that we do, a lot of our service deals with strengthening up grown-ups so that they can save our children. And I think that the crux of like what we do is about community building. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw Harold totally off. This is not scripted. So I'm going to let Harold start us off with a song. Because you guys go to trainings all the time. You train for board. And then you will not be bored. You will be educated. So we're going to have Harold start us off with a song. Something like Children Are Free. Can you sing that?
Let me tell you something, Don. So we didn't go.
Go ahead.
So I was doing all those that auditions for the national anthem with the Warriors, and of course they didn't pick me because I was in the country. You know, so we want to sing today. If some of the words we didn't get done, because this guy might extra air coming every now and then, and that's the word. So we do. So I'll just leave a little bit of that this stuff. The next one. Go ahead. Yeah, that's I go from one move to up. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly hailed, and the twilight has been whose rush lights and bright stars through the level and high, o'er the red clouds wise, were so gallantly streaming in the wildest service for over 60 years. And what you learn when it's about service, we have to take people from where they are. We have to take people from where they are. And what we want to do is to make sure that you take care of yourself. Because self-care is not being selfish. Self-care is very, very necessary. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about strategies as to how we can come up with recommendations so that you can be better at doing the job that you do. Just like when you take that airplane, what do they tell you when you come to that oxygen mask? Who do you have to put the oxygen mask on first? Yourself. Take it away, Robert. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I'm 52 years old now, so things are changing a little bit. I can't even see anything up close. Anybody else experiencing that? Oh my goodness. One of the amazing things, I can't read anything. Today's going to be, a day for some of you. I know some of you were feeling uncomfortable about being here today, but we're going to make it exciting for you. And you're going to learn from it, right? In a short period of time. I know you're tired, you worked hard all day. Now it's 1 o'clock and you get up, right? Right, we'll get started. So we're going to have a good time. Some of the things that we're going to do at the end, we're going to have a little practice to make sure that you understood what we talked today. Something very simple. Very simple. We're not going to bring any weapons or anything like that today. Sometimes at these trainings we bring weapons today, of course they're safe weapons. But we bring them just to make it loud. But I have no reason to come up here and try and scare anybody. This is all about teamwork. And us recognizing how everyone's role is important. Everyone's role. We're going to have some people here that's going to be scared. They're going to be screamers, right? They're going to be ones that's going to be screamers. You're going to have the ones that are ready to fight. We're going to do a little bit of fighting today. Everybody who knows part, we're going to throw some punches. We're going to throw some kicks. So all that frustration you've got going on today, we can just let it out. And those kicks, the acronym that we use is going to be run, hide, fight. Right? So everybody that comes here and teach you to run, everybody know how to run. They teach you how to hide. Most of us remember how to hide. But when it comes to fight, some of us don't have to do. So we're going to teach you a little bit that you can do with these personal combatants that you can get. These fists, these elbows, knees, right? So I'm truly thankful to be here today. I'm thankful for this opportunity to come in. We've been a part of the street now behind the scenes. Some of you have seen it, some of you haven't. But we've been just witnessing all the great works that you do. I look at it on Facebook all the time, and I see when people are being nice, and I see when people are hating. You know, and these are things that we kind of relate these things to what we did in the police department, what Don still does now. His role is to come in and help and protect people, right? But they don't want it. And even if you're right sometimes, you're still wrong. So that's just some of the things that we go through. Today we're going to talk about what happens to save lives and defending them against when things go bad. I know you probably can't see this, so I'm just give you a little bit of the course objectives that we're going to be doing. By the time this course is over, you're going to be able to describe the fundamentals of an emergency preparedness plan. That's very important. Anything in life, guys, you got to have a plan. Describe the fundamentals of run, hide, fight. We're going to talk about it, and then we're going to do it. Recognize the importance of teamwork in an emergency. Recognize the importance of customer service and how it relates to saving lives. Recognize the importance of customer service and how it saves lives. I say that twice because that's so important. We forget that part. It's not just about selling a product. Describe the difference between cover and concealment when seeking shelter. Recognizing safe rooms and how to fortify them to prevent unwanted entry. Describe what to do when law enforcement arrives. Recognize the importance of hear something, see something, say something. You know, the one that came out was see something, say something. But how many times do we hear something and don't do anything about it? And just that little piece could have saved our lives. Recognize signs of negative behavior that may result in violence. And describe how to manage the aftermath after an active shooting. One of the things that I think is so important that we begin with is having the right mindset before we even begin anything. One of the issues is sometimes we go there and we teach people how to defend themselves against the bad guy, the adversary coming in. You know, but we find one of these issues where people don't even think enough of themselves to even want to protect themselves. Right? And that's a serious issue. You know, sometimes we go through life and talk about treating people the way you want to be treated. No, because some people don't treat themselves good, so you don't want them to treat you the way they treat themselves. Treat people how they want to treat you. Ain't saying nothing yet. Then we talk about the winning mindset. Some people talk about the surviving mindset. For me, surviving means you stay in it. You still in it. Still moving around. What you making? Winning is when we win. Keep on moving. We want to the next goal. Right? We want to the next goal. So every day in life, no matter what kind of storm you're going through, right? You know, Oprah Winfrey, she talked about when storms come. Right? And she described that. Don't look at the problem. Right? Don't look at the problem. Find out what is the lesson in the problem. What's the lesson in the storm that you're going through right now? Right? So we got to prepare your mind, get you ready. Because some people don't think enough of themselves, but today, you don't even think about the person next to you. Right? You may not even like them. But when you think about them, there's somebody in their home that can't wait for that person to come home. So do it for them. If you can't do it for yourself, do it for the person next to you.
One of the things that we have to make sure that we do in the capacities of all of our jobs is we can never stop asking ourselves, what if? What if? The day you stop asking yourself, what if, that's the day that you're in trouble. So one of the things we challenge you to do is to always think about what if. If we're in this room right now, and an active assembly comes in through the doors, has anyone in here, prior to us getting started, scoped out the exit doors? What if? So we're going to start with it. We want you to change that mindset. And if you have that mindset already, we want you to continue with that mindset.
Let's look at the board, guys. There's 4 different quotes up there. First one says, never look down on a man unless you're picking him up, right? How hard is that, right? How hard is that for some of us to do sometimes, right? Well, I've learned the hard way, right? I know it's like to be down and how to get up, right? Never look down on anybody. I can never know their story. So we got to be careful how we treat each other, right? The next one says, when there's no enemy within, the outside can't do us no harm, guys. You gotta learn to love yourself. Be completely okay with yourself. So when somebody's talking about you, you don't matter. Right? If you don't have that enemy inside you already telling you how bad you are, how fat you are, how dumb you are, that's when you don't matter. It don't matter what somebody says. You'll see all day and I'm passionate about what I do because I believe. I'm not in verse. I'm not going to tell you anything today that I haven't been through already. I'm not a college graduate. I'm a graduate of life. I'm telling you. And I know what works in life. I'm grateful, guys. It's now over until you quit. No matter what fight you in, you got to keep fighting. Right? No matter what you're going through, you keep fighting. Understand this, guys. Life is amazing. You got to start living. Never over. When we talk about the fight, when we're going into somebody, how dare them come here and try to disturb this place while we're in here, we're going to fight them with everything we got. And we won't stop until we win. It's not how you fall, it's how you get back up. Right? What a way to really reestablish your mind. How many times do you reboot your phone? Every time it begins to lag and slow down. And you know why it lags and slow down? Because it's so full of things that we put in. Right? We never think to our mind that we need to reboot ourselves every day. Every day. Why? Because we've got so many things going in. Right? All the time. How do you think they sell products, guys? They say something over and over and over again. That's how they get you. That's how they get into your subconscious mind. But you got to start doing it for yourself. Tell yourself that you're great. I started writing a book. It's called The Illusionary Mirror. And the reason why I started writing this book is because I realized that a lot of times when I look in the mirror, I don't see what everybody else sees. But when I look in the mirror, I see all my fears, I see my weaknesses, my flaws. Everything that I look at bed, I wake up and see when I look in the mirror, guys. And then you go outside and say, and instead of receiving that blessing, you know what I do? Oh man, same thing with you ladies. You leave out, you could, when you woke up in the morning, you just couldn't find anything that fits you the way you wanted it to fit. You try to do your hair, just hit the glass the way you wanted it to. But then you go outside, someone tells you how amazing you look. What the reason is, guys, because what you saw in the mirror wasn't the true you, right? We got to start seeing the true us. Start loving yourself. Start loving yourself and watch how your life will change.
Before we can love others, we love ourselves. Before we can render aid to someone else, we have to, first of all, make sure that we're in that position to render aid.
Prepare yourself, guys. You're your biggest investment. I don't care how much schooling you have. It doesn't matter. If you're not good on the inside, and you're not true to who you are, there is issue. So when we learn, guys, to love ourselves, to love our lives, we're willing to fight for it every day. We're willing to fight for anything every day. Why? Because we love waking up. We love waking up. If you're in a job right now, wherever you are, and you try to stay up as late as you can to prolong the night, because you don't want to go in there with those crazy people. Right? You got issues, right? You got to fix something. You know who you are, you do it. I did a long time. I can't say what I grew up protecting. But there's sometimes, right? I try to stay as long as I can. I don't have to go in there and deal with what's going on there. But when I started looking at God, the same thing that we look at today. Don't look at your job as a job. Every day, you look at it as an opportunity. An opportunity to touch lives. How great is that you try to impact lives every day? That's my goal when I wake up in the morning is to encourage somebody. I can't explain it to you guys, but it's what God is God. You guys have that opportunity every day to touch somebody's life, to encourage somebody every day. Let's all love each other, guys. So we protect each other. There's four agreements. Four agreements that I want you guys to think about every day. If you go by these four agreements, guess what, guys? You make the right people. The first one says, be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable with your word. It doesn't just mean telling the truth, right? What it means is be careful of the words that we speak. It's like sowing seeds, right? You know how you sow seeds, you plant a seed and something will grow. Well, the same thing happens in our lives, guys, with our actions, with the words we speak. You plant it and it grows. If it's something great, we nourish it. We nourish it with our thoughts. We nourish it with our words. Same thing. If it's a negative thought, we do the same thing. And both will grow the same if you continue to nourish it. Every day be careful about what you say out of your mouth. Don't take anything personal. Man, that's a hard one. Isn't that a hard one? That's why I say it's a work in progress every day. You can't take anything personal. I'm on the road all the time. So when we're on the beltway driving and somebody cuts you off, you know how mad you get, you can't wait to get up there and give them the finger and everything else. Why that don't make you mad? Oh, you let somebody over there. Oh, this guy don't make me so mad. You don't hold up. You don't hold up to the front when you go up to the side. But I have to learn that, guys. I don't take anything personal anymore when I'm out there. They don't know who's in the car, right? They don't know who that person is. You don't know what their emergency is. So instead of getting mad at them, don't take it personal.
With the law enforcement, that is something that we have to learn very quickly. Because you're going to always, in our profession, which is similar to your profession, all the time we see people at their actual work. And then you are going to be the person that they are going to sound off on. And we have to learn not to take it personally and do not internalize that. And that takes thick skin. But when we signed up for this comes with the journey. And it isn't always difficult. It isn't always easy. It can be quite difficult. But we have to do what we have to do to get the job.
Don't make assumptions, guys. Don't assume anything. Don't assume anything. This will help you anywhere in your life, in your relationships, wherever you love, you expect them to know what you're going through. Just when you came home and maybe something that they supposed to know, right? And if they don't know, we get all these things. Why don't you hear me? Right? No. It's the same thing with anything that you're going through, guys. Don't assume anything. The last one is something that we all have to do. Always give your best. Always give your best. Here we go, guys. We're going to talk about run, hide, and fight. If the bad guy was to come in here today, bad guy or bad girl come in here today, what are we going to do? What are you going to do when you're in church? What are you going to do when you're in a restaurant? What are you going to do when you're in your office? What are you going to do? How many of you have a plan? How many of you go to the restaurant and you put extra service? Yes, only some of us, right? And that's when they attack us. They attack us in our places of comfort. You in church clapping and everything, and you think somebody's playing drums out, right? Next thing you know, you'll see coming in the door, right? What you going to do? You sit in your office, right? You sit there and you so involved in your work because you're all about serving. And then it happens. What are you going to do? So we're going to come up with a plan for you if you don't have it. But start thinking, as of today, have a plan for everything in your life. When you walk in the door, have a plan. No matter what you're doing, have a plan. Listen, we're going to start a video in like 7 minutes. Pay close attention to it. Guys, pay close attention to it. We're going to start rolling this thing, and we're going to have a good time. No problem. Here we go. I feel more like an action than reality. one of the things about lifeguards, it's all about adapting to whatever happens. It's spring on the whole weather. It doesn't matter, right? The way it's going, it's a quick, short, super film, right? Pay attention to it. But you're going to need it. Because we're going to come here, we're going to try to put you with you. You can get away. Still not showing yet, oh, it's okay. Take it, you got it.
I remember back in the late 90s, when we first started working with schools, there was no run fight, whatever. We were in those schools, and we saw that with that horrific tragedy that happened at Columbine, where the policy and procedures there was to secure the perimeter and wait on SWAT. But our history has taught us that doesn't work. And as a result of that tragedy, that is how we go about doing business now. And then in every jurisdiction in the country, what is going to happen is the first 3 or 4 officers that are on the scene, they are going to enter that building, and their number one priority is to neutralize the threat. And what we learn is that when we go about achieving safety, this is something that is a constant work. We're always tweaking, we're always learning, and we believe very, very strongly that if you know better, then you have to do better. But it starts with training. And I think that this type of training for like you guys that are boots on the ground, this is very, very critical. Because everyone that goes through this training will pick up something that they did not know. And that something that you did not know may be something that is life-saving. Because when you're going into those homes, when you're making those visits, you don't know what you're walking into. So what Harold and I will do is we are going to share with you some of the strategies we have used in all of the years we have been in law enforcement. And it starts with that mindset of always asking yourself, what if?
Now, some of the other things that we're going to be introducing to you guys, about riding. We're going to go into the community that you serve. We'll all get active to a thing. It won't be like a food fan or anything like that. It'll be something that we can actually ride into the neighborhoods. And we're going to sit and we're going to just talk about some different things. You guys go for knowledge and rules. Right? So we're going to teach you how to do it much safer. Much safer. What to do once you're inside. Some signs to look for when we go to the house. A lot of times we're just so focused on the house that we're going to build, we forget about it. So all these things, we're going to teach you and give you a whole bunch of tips that you can go out there and do your job so much more safe. Does anyone have to do rushing or anything? Oh, there we go. Run out of light, guys.
Sorry, it worked earlier. We kind of really did.
That's okay, you don't have to say sorry. You don't have to say guys, the video is going to be quick, and then everything flows after that, and then we'll be right into it. You might have any questions or anything so far. Anything. I just want to tell you one.
It may be like just another day in the office. But occasionally, life feels more like an action than reality. The authorities are working hard to protect you and to protect our public spaces. But sometimes, bad people do bad things. Their motivations are different. The warning signs may be there, but the devastating effects are the same. And unfortunately, you need to be prepared for the worst. find yourself in the middle of an active shooter event, your survival may depend on whether or not you have a plan. The plan doesn't have to be complicated. There are three things you could do that make a difference. Run, hide, fight. First and foremost, if you can get out, do. Always try to escape or evacuate, even when others insist on staying. Encourage others to be with you, but don't let them slow you down from the decision. Remember what's important, you, not your stuff. Leave your belongings behind and try to find a way to get out safe. Trying to get yourself out of harm's way needs to be your number one priority. Once you are out of the line of fire, try to prevent others from walking into the danger zone and call 911. If you can't get out safely, you need to find a place to hide. Act quickly and quietly. Try to secure your hiding place the best you can. Turn out lights, and if possible, remember to lock doors. Silence your ringer and vibration mode on your cell phone. And if you can't find a safe room or closet, try to conceal yourself behind large objects that may protect you. Do your best to be quiet and calm. As a last resort, if your life is at risk, whether you are alone or working together as a group, fight. Act with aggression. Improvise weapons. Disarm. And commit to taking your down, no matter what. Try to be aware of your environment. Always have an exit plan. Know that in an incident like this, victims are generally chosen randomly. The event is unpredictable and may evolve quickly. The first responders on the scene are not there to evacuate or tend to the injured. They are well trained and are there to stop the shooting. Your actions can make a difference for your safety and survival. Be aware and be prepared. And if you find yourself facing an active shooter, there are three key things you need to remember to survive. Run, hide, fight.
Okay, guys. So as we're talking today, I want you to think about where you sit at, where you are, your place of work. I want you to think about that. Put yourself in that position. Okay? We're going to talk about run, hide, and fight. And sometimes they don't even go in that order. You may not. What happens if you get to lock the door? and that individual gets sent. You have to be prepared. I tell people every day, and that's a good stuff. You know, even if you just go outside and walk around and practice going up and down the steps or the evening, just to get your heart pumping. Just in case. We all want to be here to protect our families. We need to go think of ourselves. Right? So this one, just a little bit will help us out. First thing we're going to talk about money. The first thing in money, you need to know where you're going. Right? How many of you know you know where your exits are? Have you taken time to know where the exits are? Well, you better check some of them, because some of them may have a whole lot of stuff in the way. Right? So what do you do when you get to work? You start looking around. Start looking for your exit plan. What's closest to you to get away? And once you get out, where does it take you? Right? So we gotta have a plan. Not just start running. Start running, you don't know that, right? Have a plan. We need to know.
Time is of the essence because what we know in active assailant situations is that they're over really, really fast. When we look at the average, we're talking about less than about 6 minutes. So all of these interventions that you take are to your favor. And what we also know is that when we look at the high portion of this set of strategies, when you look at all of the shootings that have ever taken place, very, very rarely, if ever, do they physically shoot over any type of building. Because what they'll do is they want to go to the easiest possible target. So any of these obstacles that you put in front of them benefits you in your ability to survive that attack.
Guys, one of these things are happening. Although when you think about DC, the young boy out the window, right? Just shooting at me like it was Call of Duty. The same thing works. Run, hide, fight. Same thing. You gotta run, get out of the way. But a lot of times, the first thing you gotta do is you gotta listen. You gotta listen. Sometimes you gotta look at things that happen just like this. You know, chances are, you see the ground coming, the window shattered that way. It's gone around this way, right? So sometimes before we even run, these things we gotta think about. Where is the actual firing taking place? You know, sometimes you hear the noises and if it's going inside the equipment, everybody tells you the best thing to do is you get out of the building, you get out. But if you're not sure where it is, your best option is to lock down the place. Lock down the place. So just think about your rooms, guys, walking through the medical facilities, all the different places that we've been. You guys got some strong rules. Some of the restrooms are built for families. So if you're in a hallway, you got places to go. They got strong deadbolt locks on the bathroom doors. There's something as simple as door chocks. Does everyone know what a door chock is? I'm going to show you what a door chock is. It's just a wooden lock. You can buy it. It's cost like $2. If your lock isn't working on your door, if you're in a facility that doesn't have a lock, these door chocks can be anywhere in the building that you can use, just like they use to pop the door open. The same thing can be used to close the door. We gotta improvise. Just like when you deal with different clients, you gotta think on your feet. If something changes in the middle, you gotta be ready to think. And we're gonna make those things happen. You gotta just a little bit of technical difficulties, but it's okay, guys. We still have to thank one.
One of the things we did here was we were able to do site assessments of like many of the facilities here in St. Mary's County. And basically what we did a very comprehensive assessment of the clinic. And in all of the assessments we conducted, one of the things we did was we came up with designated safe rooms. So wherever you work, find out where is the designated safe room within the facility that you are assigned. The safe room will normally be a place that has limited windows, with a hardcore door, something that you can lock yourself in. So one of the challenges we give you is wherever you work, go back and then find out where is your designated safe room.
Another thing, guys, these are things that we put together. We have safe bags, right? And in your safe bags, you'll have different things. Like everybody, we should have being in the spot, being out there on Burger King for hours, laying out there and running out of food, right? And I told myself that I would never be able to do it. So I always have to do it. If anybody's going to get back over there, got something. So I'm telling you, start thinking about these things, guys. In those safe rooms, and anything can be designed as a safe room, if you go in there, you can fortify it, it can become a safe room. Because these places that maybe places they haven't been marked as these were places that we came up with that you can utilize as safe rooms. Right? Just anything you can go in there doesn't have a window. And you know that all it's like a fish tank, right? This on the mud windows all around. So you would think, why can't I? Because the individual is inside of the building. You got strong doors that you can hide behind. We're going to lock those doors. We're going to work it behind. We're talking about hiding in the video about this. The next stage of it is high, right? So if we get into a place, like, for instance, when we don't take people walking through and go like that. When we go into these doors, these are simple things that we can pick up and we can provide for so that actually, like those windows there. If you think about most of the doors, they're set up like this. Now, most people would think that this glass in this door is just so that if you break it, you can get right in, right? Well, you know what? In that glass, it has chicken wire. Is anybody ever tried to put your hand through a chicken wire? Guess what? It don't work, guys. It don't work. In order to fire a weapon, it's going to be very hard to be accurate through that glass. Some of the things, and it's so great that you have Dr. Bruce, that you have, and you have now all these people that are being so proactive that they came to us asking, how can we better protect our people? Right? See, these are things that you got to look at here to take the door over the back. They will know how can we protect our people better. So we're talking about this person should be sitting here like this. So you'll start noticing some changes. If you go into the house and you know that a young lady that is sick, hey, maybe she's no longer there. Right? She's in a sick location. But we're doing that for everybody. We're coming around. If your office is set up where you're in home, you're not playing something. Think about having to escape all the time. Well, that be set up where you're back into the office and that person is between you and the door. You gotta start thinking of safety. When we talk about barricading these doors, that's what these doors right now, the Allen is there. So the Allen is there, but I want you guys to start checking. Because y'all have meetings in here quite often. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you just outside those doors on the outside, it has Allen there. I'm not going to tell you where it is. It's right at that door. You don't lock that. But I'm telling you, there's an Allen wrench out there somewhere on that door that you can lock those doors. And even though it's all that glass in it, that you think you just break the glass, you can reach in and just open the door. Bad guys don't want to waste no time, guys. They looking for any immediate entry that they can get, but that's not a minutes. Because we're coming together. So they're doing is locked because they moving on to the next one. And I know in the video it said, be quiet. Some people not going to be quiet. Just like you saw the lady in there, you know who you are. You know who you are. You're going to be that or that guy. Right? Everybody's talking to this. That's just the bed, right? You're in changes. But you got to understand each other's strength and weakness. Right? And that's how we build on each other. If you know this person is a stranger, that also right? You know, you just think for her. You let her know that everything's going to be okay. You keep reassuring her that everything's going to be okay. In each building, start thinking about it. So I'm reaching out to you guys for some natural or floor cap. And you guys get some security in place. So you're talking about that. That's amazing, right? But start thinking about those individuals who will be the ones that, in the midst of the storm, they'll be out there with a plan. Tell them where it's up. Point them in the right direction. Because when it's stuck in the fan, you'll find some of those people that toss themselves down. It's going to be a day on it. Right? It's going to be like them to see. So what is that shooter? You already know that's a bad guy girl. Come right here. And that ultimate idea is for them to think about as many people as quickly as they can. And if you build it, start thinking of things. If you know this person is a stranger, you know this person is a stranger. 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 You know treatment. We already know that. That's when it's multiple people that they're coming to get. We're going to go through this and do this and that. We want to get to this stuff. Some of the definitions that we're going to talk about, we got a lockdown, right? So a lockdown, if you look at it, guys, it's used to safeguard occupants when there's imminent danger, right? When the danger is imminent, if we know, you gotta go. That's what she was talking about. She didn't even talk about it, but we found out she got to protect the boy against him. He's on his way up with his stuff. Someone looked and saw him coming across the parking lot. Well, you get a notification that the police tell you that, we're searching for bad guys and you need help. And you got to lock down the place. That's what we're going to teach you.
And sometimes within this field, you guys are so used to providing services. There are certain situations with certain criteria where that person is outside, leave them out there. Because when they get inside, guess what? It's too late. So if you have the intelligence, you have the information, you feel that individual is a threat, help yourself by leaving them outside. And then what we want to see, what should happen is we want to see a structured practice crisis plan. And we want to be able to make sure to understand what the terminology is. Back in the day when we first started, there was a color system. No one's used the color system. You know why? Because people forget what they mean. During a special situation, code yellow, what the hell is code yellow? But if I say lockdown, then everyone sings to it. You know what lockdown is now. So what we are doing, even in law enforcement, they should use all those codes and he's going northwest. No. Now it's real talk. Real talk, because in a special situation, we're all human no matter how much you're trained, we're all human. An example that I would give to you is the other day we had a situation at the school. We had one of our veteran police officers. We're accredited. We go through a whole lot of training. I mean, we're training. The assembly said law enforcement needs training and brother needs to get training. So we had a situation at our school, and we had an SRO, we had a principal, and we had an assistant principal. They're outside. They're in that situation, and there is intruders. They're all coming to surround the squad. And we had one of our officers there. He's bad. He's got his body on the camera. He's got his gun. The principal looked at the officer and said, "Maybe you call back up." He was kind of out like, "All that training this guy's got." The principal had to say, "You think you want to call back up?" So no matter how much training you have, no matter who you're with, you have to sometimes make your own decisions, make your own recommendations. Lieutenant David Grossman talks about the survivalist mindset. This is your life. You have a choice in it. You have a say in it. When these protocols first started, they were very restricted. Now all of the active assailant training deals with what? It's all what's called box-based. You're going to make that decision based on what the circumstances are. And who's going to make that call? You're going to make that call. Why are you going to make that call? Why? You're going to make that call because it's your life. That's why you're going to make that call. And you have a right, you have an absolute right to make that decision because it concerns your well-being. We want to put you in the driver's seat. We want to give you the resources that are necessary so that you can have the best chance of surviving.
I'll tell you this, guys. One of the things that is so important that we always do is that we share information with someone that we trust. If you got a situation going on in your home with an individual that may cause a threat to yourself or anyone around you, make sure you tell somebody. Make sure that someone knows so that individual isn't walking with you to lunch and crazy giants about the bushes. Alright? Or they come visit your location and you bring them along. Hey, John, come on in. Look, it's right there. And he comes in and does everything else. So you always worry about our policy, right? But anybody that has a cell phone, you have absolutely no privacy. For me, I open up my phone with my thumbprint. Right? So I'm making my finger. If that they excite me more and say, you can use your face. So issue of safety, share that information with someone, right? You gotta be able to trust somebody.
We believe in that whole buddy system, especially as we start to gravitate toward that training. When you start going into people's homes, if we do a home visit, do yourself a favor, don't keep a secret. Let somebody know that you're going there. So that buddy system didn't work out a whole lot. It definitely does work to our favor.
Here we go, guys. Proactive planning versus reactive planning. A lot of companies wait until something bad happens before they bring somebody like this in. They wait until someone's hurt or injured or sometimes die before they want to do something. But St. Mary's County has stepped up, right? And they want to be proactive, so make sure that you have a plan in place. So be grateful for the leaders that you have.
Can I say something? See, because I know what you guys have gone through over the last 2 years because we went through that whole thing. I'm not sure. And when COVID happened, when things got crazy, the schools were closed. So there's 80 of us. So what are we going to do with the 80 SROs? You know, I don't feel very valued when you tell me you're going to transport the people that are impacted. And it was the darkest time of my 30 years. And you guys are coming out of the darkest time that most of you have ever seen in your workplace. And what we want to do is we want to continue to be a part of this amazing St. Mary's County team so that we can provide you with trainings for your own safety. Because self-care is not being selfish. We believe that. And we've got to make sure that we give you tools to put in that toolbox so that you are in a better place to protect yourself because you cannot protect others until you protect yourself first.
These are the fundamentals of the preparedness plan, right? So we think the first thing we're going to do, we're going to evaluate the current policies. That's one of the things to do. We look at places. Now, a lot of times we go to these different locations, not so much we've been in places where they have full plan on the wall. But if you go and you see a picture of it, it's not the actual full plan. You know, it's outdated and everything else. Right? So these are things that we look at to help you guys as far as we're being practice. Conduct risk assessments like we already did. Already went into the building and looked and found out what we change, what lives can we make to make it a more safer environment. Familiarize yourself and establish a good working relationship with the nearest hospital. Know your environment, guys. Know your environment. If this city or you talk anywhere on your property, guys, I hope I say this. Just always be thankful, guys. If you want the best service, be thankful. You say all the best service for one of you. You ain't got to like them, you ain't got to, but thankful for what you do. I just see that they're giving you the best service ever because you know you're grateful. It's the same thing with you guys. You know you thank all the things about that man. So, man, even you know, you be ready to give. Right? Be thankful. Familiarize yourself with them. Familiarize yourself what to do when you have to call for an emergency. Right? Make sure your phones work. Make sure if you know the gas spots in the building where your cell phone will work. Create a survival winning mindset. That's what we're going to foster here, a winning mindset. Create your own emergency response team. Now, that's what we can captains that are out there. In the event of an emergency, they want one of those safe facts and got those progressive facts in there that they would need to direct people where to go. And then we're not just talking about evacuation, but get right there. And train for evacuation and lockdown is what we're doing today. We're going to train until you got it. We're talking about executing our plan. We already talked about what we're going to do as far as planning, executing, knowing where to go, and what to do. Okay, we already talked about how unpredictable an action situation is. It can happen at any given moment. At any given moment. It's quick and it's unexpected. Run. When we talk about running, I know you guys can't see it, so I'll explain to you, but we already went through it. Have an escape plan in mind. Evacuate whether others want to or not. If it's time to run and they don't want to go, don't stay out there and pull each other, pull. They made their decision. Right? I know you guys in service and all you want to own self in jeopardy. Leave your belongings behind. How many times in the fire when you see somebody go to the pocket book, you pick up anything, grab the things of the baby, guess what? Guys, don't bring it to work, right? Don't bring nothing that you value so much to work that in a bit of emergency, you got to take it with you. No, you will move as quickly as possible to get out of there. It says help. Help others to escape if possible. If someone is injured, guys, we can just leave that person there, happen along, right? We can go grab that person. This is the person that's saying, no, I'm not going. I'm going to stay here. No, this is the person they're trying, right? They're trying. So we're going to assist those that need assistance. It says, keep your hands visible at all times when law enforcement arrives. You'll see that a little further in the clip. We'll talk about that. Follow the directions of the police. And while you're running, if the police are coming this way, chances are the bad guys are in this way. So you want to go in the direction that the police are coming. Everybody understand that? If the police are running this way, you don't want to run in and be running there. Unless you come with your own keys, right? You ready? You say, I was waiting for this. Now when we talk about hide, guys, look at this. Look at these screens. Look at what they've done. These guys are ready. You use anything that you can to block those doors. They come to all. What can you move in front of that door? Lock that door. Make sure that you don't lock it. Don't lock it. So that's what they're doing.
Can I also add this? If you're in an office, one of the things we have learned, because what we do is read up on all these horrific incidents. And if you're in an office with a door, it is your prerogative as to whether or not you keep the door open or shut. That does not matter. But what I will tell you is that if you choose to keep the door open, make sure that you keep the door open, but keep it locked in the locked position. Because what we learned from that tragedy of saying, look, when those guns came down the hallway, there were teens that lost their lives trying to lock it. Because during that situation, your stress level is going to be heightened tremendously, and your find motor skills are going to be way off center. So one of the things we recommend is that if your door's open, keep it in the locked position. So should you have to close it, you can shut it and then you can start to fortify.
And guys, guess what? If you try to lock the door and don't lock it, no, you grab that belt, right? Whatever you got, you grab that belt and you put it right on it. I'm telling you, one of the things I learned out there in the street is that you have to adapt to things right away. When you out there on the southern roads, I've done everything, but I tell you what, you gotta be ready. Just think about it, you gotta improvise. If that door ever closed, you might have to hold it, right? Because the only thing you take is the pull, not the big. He's gonna move. So it's never open, and you put it. But as you can see, they're using everything they can. You can use tables, you can push the coppers, whatever. You can push it over in front of that door. So if the door opens up the outside, you don't have the all that mess to try to get somebody. Everybody understand that? So it's never over. It's never over. If you can't evacuate, find a place to hide. And one of the things that we want to talk about is the difference between concealment and cover. Right? So when you decide that you want to hide behind something, you gotta think, if someone is shooting at you, hide behind the curtain, it's just concealment, right? He can't see you, but the rounds can still come through the curtain. But if you get behind one of your strong desks or something that, access cover, like if we stand behind a nice, strong wall, some of those nice walls get off to the side of the wall, they got a nice, strong, whole walls down here. Look at some of these walls are really strong. You got that. It provides cover for you. It provides cover. When you're in your office, you get down and up. Some people tell you to get up underneath the desk. But if you get up underneath your desk and someone comes into the room, you know, you gotta be able to get up and finish something. So don't get sucked in. I want you to start thinking of these things. When you get to your office, think of where you go. How low can you go? Right? And you'd be surprised. So these are the things though, guys, you'd be surprised how small you can get. How small you can get. You're doing those jump rates and everything, you find people in the cabinet, top down, then you're like, how did this person get in the cabinet? They were scared. Right? So the same thing with you, you'll fit. Sorry. Make sure you lock the doors when you get in. Okay? So remember, first thing we'll do is run, we'll have a place to run. We'll start playing right now since you're having an avenue to escape. We're going to put together a policy to go help you express who's now your director of safety, so we can make sure that y'all have an avenue to escape, right? And now, if you can't run, you know what you need to hide. And we're going to show you on some of these doors, but we're going to act it out until we come in and try to get you. So we're going to show you what you do in some of these doors, right? Some of you say, I'm coming. See, that's why I say this stuff so people don't think I'm crazy. So, because that's crazy, man. Things to remember, right? Visitors, if you have visitors inside of the building, yeah, you might can follow you. If something goes down, you're not responsible for these customers, right? No, with all the problems, let's go out and make it all get right? No, guess what? You know what to do, so you need to know what to do. Right? So know that if you're with someone, it's your responsibility, you know, to show them that if they don't want to go, that's what they say, people show them where we go. You direct them where to go. Lock and barricade the door. Silence your cell phones and all electronic devices. Guys, if you're hiding in that location, if you can make a phone call, make a phone call. But it's also, you can just dial 911 and just leave it open. That way she can hear everything that's going on. One of the important things, the quicker that you can get on that phone to respond to the police and tell them the last direction where they were coming from, you know, if you can tell them that you hear them down just outside, and see these are things, but remember, your silence is always going on. So you can't watch them how many minutes doesn't matter, because it's going to be so noisy already. When an evacuation is not an option and you gotta hide, remain calm. Now, 911 is possible. You know, if you get that situation, think about what you do. The amount of time we talk to them about how many suspects there are, what they're wearing. Any of this information that you may have is so much helpful to us. Because when we come to that spot, you gotta do every little thing to find this individual, unless we can pinpoint where they are. So the more help that you can be to us, the better it is when we come into that door. And we'll talk about fighting. Now, guys, this is your last resort here. You know, this is your last resort. We don't want you guys to be the ones, you know, you can ladies in the basement and you guys decide to gather and go down there and get them. I mean, that's your choice to do. But that is not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to do that. What we're trying to do is as a last resort, where you have no choice, and your life is now, and everything, this is where we fight. This is where we fight. And once you commit to fighting, you gotta fight with everything you got. You can provide anything. Chairs, bottles of water, your shoes, staplers, whatever you got. One of the greatest things that y'all have all over the place is fire extinguishers. I ain't talking about this spray in your face or what? Nobody. I was at a class with one guy, everything I asked, he said, yeah, that. I tell people all the time, make sure, guys, don't carry any weapons that you aren't trained or ready to use. You know what I'm talking about? How do you pray for prayer?
Don't be ashamed. Go ahead and let us know.
Raise it high! That's so you're sure about what you got. Now, understand this. How many of you have ever been sprayed? I ain't asking you what the situation was, but I'm just telling you this, guys. This is what you need to know. That I've been in the struggle for a long time. I don't care how big I was, how big I was at the time. Every time it hit me, it got me. And when I tell you, it made our tears just start rolling up your eyes. All the music is liberated. You know it's just money. Those ropes are all over. Right? And then when it hits your face, you're talking about liquid fire. It feels like your skin is just tearing off. And then you can't breathe. And on top of that, your eyes close. So this ain't good for we ain't need no training. And you outside, and you think you gonna play something in the wind blows. No way. Now I'm telling you, as a former sniper, the wind just comes blowing in the direction. It's swirling. It's swirling. And all of a sudden you spray it. And it comes back on you. It's like that. You think you died and you gone the other way. Huh? Be mindful of the weapons that you carry. Huh? How many of you carry knives around? Oh, girl. Oh, somebody, I didn't know that. Well, you know what, guys? If you got a knife, you gotta be ready to use it. Right? You gotta be ready to use it. Because you want to make a life so personal. Right? I'd rather be shot in the head than be stabbed. Right? But when you get stabbed, if you want to be a person like myself, then you put a knife on a person up there. Oh, go down! Right? And you pull out and the best thing you thought you had, the person was ready to do it. Right? No. Or you that have guns and go to the range and you shoot a couple times, they don't stress on it, so you always in that target, right? Let them stress it, let them put you on a time, and I'm supposed to be all over the place. Don't carry nothing that you're not trained to use or authorized to carry, right? Because if the bad guy doesn't have anything, you can be introduced to the problem. Right? Guys, it's 2:13. Let's go ahead and take a break for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll finish this thing up. monthly fix changes lives. This you can wear it like a bracelet. Like, you know, in the ring, you got that referee in there to say, no, stop choking them. Stop. There's no ref. There to break it up when you go down, right? So anything you got, I don't care if it's the windmill, use the windmill. You got them fingernails, scratch, right? I don't care how big you are. Anybody ever hit the nose? What is that like? Everything happens. Your eyes start watering, everything. Just a messy melting pot, right? So all these things. Has anybody ever been scratched on the ear? No, sorry. But I'm just telling you, these are just simple things that change the world. Just a simple grab of an ear. If you don't believe it, reach up and grab your ear just a little bit, put a little scratch on, just a little scratch. It's like, oh my goodness. Simple things. The nose, the eyes, these things here, the lips. People don't expect you to grab on these things when you fight, right? I'm not crazy. I'm just passionate about what I do. I believe in it. If I'm going to fight you, I'm going to study everything about you. I had to fight everybody in this room before you came in here because I didn't know. I didn't know what you had for me. But this is what we're going to do, guys. I don't know what's going to happen with the film, but we already know run, hide, fight. It don't have to be in that order. No matter what takes place, if you're in a situation where you can't run, you can get out of the building, you get out of the building, right? If you can't get out of the building, you know, whatever the case may be, you find a location and you barricade yourself inside there. I don't care what you stack at that door. Lock that door. If your lock doesn't work, use your belt. Most guys don't even wear belts anymore. You see the pants hanging down so low, you don't even have belts anymore. I get so mad when I go to the store, you can't even find baggy pants. So I went and got a pair of bell bottoms. These pants is ringing, but I couldn't find nothing. Everything slim fit. Right? That's another thing I gotta get used to. I gotta not take that personally. Going into the store and saying, where are the boot cut? And they say, well, you gotta wear the taper fit now. No. So here we go. Very simple what we're gonna do now. We're gonna get you guys out a little bit. We're gonna stretch you out a little bit, and we're gonna just show you some basic things. Now, this is a point where we're gonna get that frustration out. Oh, let's see if this is going to work real quick. Here we go. So guys, when law enforcement arrives, guys, they can show up in any kind of way, because when an active shooter situation comes out, police are coming from all over. Some of them may be in plain clothes with vests or whatever the case may be. Some of them will come like tactical officers, but their main goal is to find the bad guy, to eliminate the threat. So if you're in the hallway or you're somewhere where you don't expect for them to reach down and grab you, no, our main goal is to get to him as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. It's okay, it don't work. But these are the things. So when the police come, we already talked about it. When the police come, the last thing you want to do is be running with your hands in your pocket. You don't want to be that suspicious person, right? So what happens if the bad guy's in line with you guys, right? It happens. If the bad guy's in line with you, what's the universal thing we can do to let the police know he's right here? No, you don't want to do your head like this, because they can see that. No! Girl, you know, you take these big eyes, nobody even sees them. Like right there, they're going to look at me and say I'm crazy, or they're going to know something is suspicious on the right. Right? Use those eyes. We laugh about it, guys, but these are things that work. They're little things, but they work. Right? Instead of you. Wow. Yeah, but as the police come, we be mindful. Understand that their main goal isn't you. As long as you're not the bad guy, their main goal isn't you. They're going to bypass you. They're going to find where the threat is. And believe me, the safe area is where they came from. So if they're running this way, we go this way. Keep your hands where they're visible. Keep your hands where we can see them at all times. Don't make any circles. Don't be grabbing on and saying, wait, you glad you found? No! Your goal is to go in the opposite direction. You know, one of the things that we talk about in your emergency preparedness plan is we talk about having a code word for the police when they come. Like if you hunker down in your location, and sometimes, guys, it could take hours. It could take hours when they come in. But you got to have that code word sometimes, because sometimes you guys won't even believe that it's us at the door. We're knocking, letting you know that it's us, you know, because at that time we don't trust anybody, right? But if you establish that code word between you and the department, they know what to use to give you to let you know, hey, it's us. Yes, ma'am. These are the things that we have to understand, guys. Everybody in this room knows the plan. And so these are the things that we got to be leery about. When we're sitting around and you know who you're working with, if this individual is coming to work and they always got issues about something, they don't like nothing that anybody say, they're always against authority, they're always talking about guns, all kinds of stuff. Guys, you know what? You got to start listening. You got to start listening. And if you feel uncomfortable, guys, you got to go with your gut feeling. Have you ever been in a situation your gut said, oh no, this ain't right? Or the hair stood up on the back of your neck and it said it ain't right. In the moment that you don't listen, you find out that you should have left. Right? So if you're hearing something, if you hear someone that's so disturbed all the time, don't think of yourself as snitching. No, you saving lives, right? You may even be saving that individual's life. You know, because there may be some counseling or something that you guys offer that they could get. So we gotta change our way of thinking, guys. We gotta change our way. But start listening and don't take anything for granted. Anything for granted. Any threats, anything whatsoever. You start listening to it, you know, and make sure that you tell someone. That's the part about the police. When the police come in, their immediate job is to go in and get the bad guy. All right, so number one, we make sure that we don't go in and try and grab on them. We don't, sit there and lay in the hall and scream and think that they're going to help you. Even if you're injured and down, there's going to be a whole medic team that comes in there to help you out. Okay? Now, Once the police and all are all done with what they're doing, we're talking about the aftermath. See, we also, as part of your evacuation plan, your part of your emergency preparedness plan is to have some type of rendezvous point, for accountability. We got to be able to account for whoever's here, right? We want to know if somebody's missing. So a lot of times people are running, jump in their cars, and they leave and go home if they can. They get out of Dodge, but you ain't telling them about it. So the only thing they're doing, they're looking for where's she? Where's she at? She was here this morning. So we got to come up with an accountability thing, like a rendezvous point. So as part of your evacuation plan is we escape to a certain location, a safe point. And these are the things that's going to come, all going to be in your emergency preparedness plan. Right? Once you get there, the police are going to want to talk to you. They're going to want to talk to you over and over again, trying to get as much information as they can to try and solve the issues, to try and find out what happened, if there's anybody else involved. So be mindful. I know you'll be upset, but try and give as much information as you can so you can be helpful to the officers. Another thing that you got to be careful about is having the right resources in place for one of these events. That's all a part of the emergency preparedness plan as well, because people are going to be traumatized. And we've been on scenes where we get there and it's like people don't even care. Because if your partner was injured or killed in the incident, you don't want nobody coming up to you and just telling you straight out, Linda's gone, he ain't here with us, right? You don't want that. You want to have people in place that's going to be able to present that in a caring way. It's going to be trauma, so we need people that's going to be able to show that caring and let you know that everything's going to be okay. Do we have any questions on any part of the presentation? Everybody know what to do when it's time to run? Who said that? There you go. Does everyone know what to do when it's time to hide? Lock the door. What else you gonna do? Barricade. Right. And before you run, what are you gonna do? You gonna listen, huh? And what else? Who said it? Know where you wanted to. Wow, girl. Huh? And then what happens after that? If you can't run and you can't hide, you gotta use these. I like that, right? You use these suit phones. Now we're gonna get together and we're gonna show you just a couple things. And then we're gonna warm you up a little bit with your shoulders. This is gonna be fun, guys. This isn't embarrassing for anybody. I don't know if we got some karate experts here or boxers or whatever you may be. Believe it, we're not experts here, but we know how to fight for our lives, right? So what's the difference between fighting your brother and your sister? Somebody that ain't trying to kill you compared to when you fight, if you quit or you give up, they may get you. So
we do this for part of our post-recertification training in the police department. And designated to know that some of our guys and gals are not in the best shape. And we've had drills where they've been punching bags. And they've dislocated shoulders. Broken fingers, and everything.
Wait a minute, Dawn. Wait a minute. You're like Debbie Downer right now. You want that? You gonna break your fingers, your shoulders? Listen. We're gonna stretch. So let's do this. Everybody take a drink of water real quick. Take a little sip. And we're gonna just stand up real quick. And we're gonna make one big circle. Just one big circle, guys. Yes. All around. We're gonna make a big circle. All right. I'm going to say, where are you going? I'll be right back. All right. I see you. I see everybody.
So they were saying the audio wasn't good over there. So I just got closer and I got a couple texts from people and they were saying it was much better. So I think it's like just the oh no, I see.
But I did hear. Are we good now?
When it's weird, it's like
Here we go. Arms out. Long face to the floor. Do not let your plane drop. Keep them up. I ain't never seen a plane fly like this. Arms out. Ready. Small circles full. Small circles full. Yeah. Breathe with it. Oh yeah. Breathe with it. Oh yeah. Feel that clicking? Sound like Rice Krispies in here. Medium. Medium. Woo! Here we go. And large. Get large. Swing up. Swing up. Swing up. Back up. Raise back up. Small back. Back and small. Small circles. Backwards. I see you over there. Jesus, that's all it is. Medium. Yeah, yeah. Feel it. Feel it, man. Here we go, man. Feel it. Here we go. Make it big. Woo! Here we go. Yeah. Right on up above the head. Reach down and grab it. Stretch it out. Woo! Stretch it out. Feel it. Shake it out. Switch it up. Here we go. Down. Grab it. Whoa. Good, good. Shake it out. Shake it out. Give yourself some love. Love yourself. Love yourself. Woo. Hold yourself like you're going to hug. Yeah. Here we go, guys. First thing that we're going to talk about today. There's going to be punches, right? Punches. What part of the fist do you think you punch with? The back? Oh, yeah. Some of you said the knuckles. Some of you got your pinkies out. You ready? Guess what, guys? You look at your fist. Look at those first two big knuckles over there. Those first two big knuckles is what we want to do. First thing we're going to talk about is how to stand, guys. How to stand. Ready to bad to the bone, right? Serious, guys. When we stand just like this. Get up for one of your clients. Oh, there's a stage. I'm going to get up on the stage so you guys can see all the way. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. How many right-handed people do we have in the room? How many left-handed? Oh, no left? Oh, 1, 2. Okay, we okay. Here we go, guys. First thing we're talking about is our neutral stance. This is a neutral stance, guys. When we stand here, when you're talking to your clients, a lot of us are standing just like this, right? But when we stand like this, we have no balance. Somebody can push it forward, someone can push it to the side, either way. So one of the best ways for us to do all the right-handed people is going to be your left leg forward. Left leg is going to be forward, and your right leg is going to be back. The toe of your right foot should just be in the arch of your left foot. So it looks like this. Can everyone see it? Can everyone see it? So just a nice stand here. You want your knees to be slightly bent so you can move around. Huh? So come on now, let's do it with me now. Feet shoulder width apart. Here we go. Nice and easy. Get nice and flexible in there. Ready to move. Ready to move, right? If you're left-handed, it's just the opposite. The right leg is forward, and the left leg is back. Just nice and easy. Knees slightly bent. Let's talk about how to make that fist. Bring those hands up into the air. Drop those fingers down nice and tight, like you got to roll quarters in them, and bring those thumbs around. That fist is nice and tight. Nice and tight. Okay, here we go. So everybody stand. We're gonna stand feet shoulder width apart. Everybody facing me, feet shoulder width apart. Here we go. Get ready. Now we're gonna punch a little bit. Here we go. I want it to be nice and easy, guys. Here we go. So when I say one is gonna be your jab. So one looks like this. Here we go. Make sure you separate yourself so you don't punch anyone. Right? Here we go. Ready? So we're here. Elbows are tucked in to protect our rib area. We're here. And now the first punch is the jab. First punch is here. This is all we're doing. We're utilizing our full body with it. We're here. Punch. Rotate that body. Rotate that body. Rotate that body. Boxes and boxes here. Rotate that body. All right, here we go. So when I say one, I want you to throw that jab. Ready? Hands up at all times. Hands up at all times. There we go. Ready? One. Oh yeah. One. Oh yeah. One. 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 Now this is what we want you to do, guys. I don't want you to just throw the arm out. You just throw the arm out there. I want you to put the whole body behind your punch. And put the whole body in it. Right? So we hear that first punch is here, because every punch has got to be the punch in your body. Here we go. We're here. Ready? One. Boom. One. Boom. One. Okay, now here we go. When I say two, it's going to be followed behind this cross. Right? So it's going to look like this. We're here, and it's 1, 2. Now notice what's happening here. I'm utilizing my whole body with that punch. Here, boom. Whole body. Boom. Whole body. Right? So here we go. With the right hand. Here we go. Ready? Go. Boom. Ready? Go. Boom. And every time, I want you, the way you get them punches powerful, explode with it. I want to hear you say boom with your punch. Ready? Ready? Go. Boom. Ready? Go. Boom. Ready? Go. Boom. Here we go. Now, if I say two, it's going to look like this. 1, 2. 1, 2. Everybody ready? Here we go. Ready? 1. Yeah. 1. 1. 2. She said, yeah. And 2 is here. 2 is here, guys. 1, 2. Ready? Go. 1, 2. Ready? 2. Boom, boom. Ready? Go. Boom, boom. Right? So here's what we're going to talk about next. We ain't going to want you to hurt your hands. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about hammer fist, guys. Hammer fist, y'all, if you can come up here and grab that bag for me. Look for it. Hammer fist. Hammer fist. Guys, if you can't hear, you can move up a little bit. Hammer fist. Are an amazing tool. You can then use these tools standing, kneeling, or from your back. It doesn't matter. So the way you do it is the same thing from that same fighting stance, guys. That same fighting stance is right here. The only thing you're going to think of is if you had daggers in your hand. And so here's this is the way it looks. Boom, boom. It's not. Because when it's the windmill like this, guys, we can detect it. Everybody can see it coming. We keep it all inside. This is all we do. Stop it exactly. This is where someone comes in to try and grab you and take you down. And this is how it looks. So when he holds the bag, I'm in my fighting stance, and this is all it is. Boom, boom, boom. That's all we do. From here, boom, boom. Any questions on that? Feet sharp at the park. Get ready. Here we go. Ready. When I say go, that's all I want is boom, boom. Ready, go. Ready, ready, go. Oh. Here we go. Ready. Oh, yeah, give it to me again. Oh, beautiful. That was powerful. Ready? When I say go, go. Ready. 2. Make sure you got through. Make sure you got through. Here we go. Number 3. Ready? Go. Beautiful, girls. Ready? Go. All you get. Ready? Go. Ready? Step. Go. Ready? Ready? Go. Oh, beautiful. That was number 2. Number 3. He's coming from behind. He's coming from behind. Here. Always look first. It could be a partner tapping you on the shoulder. There we go. Ready, number 3. It's here. Look. To the left. Look. To the left. Look. To the left. Right? That's number 3. Number 4. It's here. Number 4. Right to the floor. Ready? Ready. Ready. Number 5, that's right. Number 5. Number 5 is here. That's the right hand position. Here we go. If you make those sounds, you make it hard. Ready? Ready to go. Ready to go. Number 6. Number 6. It's like you run your fingers from where your hair used to be. Right? My hair used to be around the fingers too. It was perfect. So number 6 is here. Rub your fingers through your hair. Beautiful. Yeah. And number 7. Number 7. They're shooting in trying to grab your legs. And we're going to just drop them. We here? Drop it. Boom. Drop it. Boom. Drop it on. Go. Boom. Drop it. Boom. Done. Now I'm going to show you how that looks on the itself. Very simple. No bad thing. There we go. So this is how number 1 elbow would look. Of course, you don't want to stand right in front of them, right? Even when you're talking to someone and you see them beginning to get aggressive, offset yourself. I always keep my hands up at all times. My hands, I can talk to you all day like this. And I'll smile on that shit, I'll fly this hands. Hey, welcome to St. Mike's County. You're not locking fingers this way, guys. Because anything that started, that's what good fingers is. They lock in place. They're locked in place. Here's how number 1 looks. We're here. Number 1. Here we go. Number 1. That's number 1. That's how number 1 looks. Number 2. He's coming up to the side. Number 3. Boom. Number 3. Boom. 3. Boom. 4. Boom. 4. Boom. Number 3. He bent over until I can bring that up. Right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I missed one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You been doing? I'll finish them all. 7. Here we go, guys. All right, bring them in real quick. Bring them nice and tight. We're going to drink some water. We're going to look in these rooms. We're going to look inside these rooms. So give you an idea of what to do and where to do stuff. We'll give you an opportunity to look before you act. This is the last thing of the day, guys. So if y'all come back in, these drinks come back in with me. We're going to go through these areas. Show you what to do if you're inside this room. Here's what you got. Okay, the first thing, guys, if we're having a presentation or whatever you're having, it's located inside this room. And so it could be be a dinner or what kind of event. Everybody know that this is kitchen area? Anyone not know? Okay, now you know that if you're here for some type of training or whatever the case, you gotta have time, right? So the kitchen is a large area. So what we want to do is just take a brief walk through the kitchen so you can get a visual of how it looks. And I just want you to take a look at the door, top to the bottom, think of what you would do inside that room. How would you secure it? Here we go.
And there are these a lot, okay? These are
But this is a letter. So whatever you have, your functions here. Make sure that you make requests. Certain requests that you get, that's part of the project when you get it. We use a lot of these. Don't get the cost of collection, we'll actually money to do it. But if this is another weapon, it has citywide, that's the program. You can get in there, and even though that they have all the funds, it's so high off the ground. Right? One of the things that we're going to invest in also, a little shade, that little shade, right at the top, in the office space, that go right on top of that little left door. You just pull string and shade all in. It's a flash shade. You pull the door, and you can't see inside. He's coming. He's going to stop and waste it. Over there, we have an exit tape that goes down to the stairwell. Does anyone know that? You go down to the stairwell and then another exit outside. So we have so many opportunities, guys. We just think about it. When you look at some people at home, if you rent these places, if you rent, I don't know if you rent something or whatever, whatever. Ask me that. You have that place, right? Why not? We don't have a family there. What do we do if things go bad? We gotta know that. So ask the question, what do you rent to? And if they ask that question, that's not what it needs to be. But they had no plan. So, right before guys, if you're inside the school, this would be your office. If you went inside there, you would take chairs, everything in person to school, as well as right? We talk about the shades going over the leg and trust who that's straight to the office. Can't be sitting in the outside, you still can't see inside, but that's straight to the right. It comes out, so this is a full straight out. Right? Yeah, so you got to stay alone. Take it up to bed. If you feel that you see it, you don't need to sit there and real simple. Now, you can use the essence of it. You can use it, or you can think about what you're doing all day. But the situation is this. Everybody's in the office, and all of a sudden, communication comes out, and that's another thing we're talking about developing a communication system. A notification system, where you'll get alerted if there's an emergency. It's so important that everybody knows, right? Everybody knows. So when that alert comes out, everyone needs to respond. So right now, there's a message that's happening out in the parking lot. The husband has come inside, and his wife has gotten so upset. He got so upset, she called in one of her bugs. This guy's a hunter. He lives in there. You guys are in after me. As you're sitting down, some work that you'll sit down at the table. Someone will come with the emergency to let you know what's happening. And you only got 2 seconds. 1, 5. Anybody have any questions? I'm going to give you guys a chance to gather this stuff. We'll give you guys a second. We're going to take a first look at it. We need somebody else to be able to see. I'm not going to pick you. Let me see if we got some. Don't worry, just and I want you guys to be in there on break, right? So some of you are going to be in here, some of you are going to be out there in the hallway. You can be anywhere you want to be in this world. But you guys, we gave you options. You have this exit break, you don't have to try to say, go outside. Did I show you how to get up your shop like? No. Yeah, so you go out there that on those first rows to the left, bring that door shop. We're going to Yeah, if you don't have one, guys, go and get one. There's a second.
So most rooms in the health department should have one. If you don't have one, talk to Trevor when you get back from vacation.
Wow, that's great. Here we go. The sit. The sit. Oh, yeah.
I have a map, but we also have a year back session, unless people have to do that. That's how I start with that.
So let's see this. This is the board shop. They come in bubbles. Some may be rubbing in that, some of them whatever. But look at you. There's some boards up. Raised up so high, they come right over top. So one of the ways to do that is to get two door shots and take them together. You go to work, they work smart. This will hold the door open, but also keep it closed. Okay, so if you guys decide about that, I don't know that. But if you guys decide to go out that way and go outside, utilize that door shot. Now, also one of the things you need to check is these doors, they work off of a little Allen. These doors right here, the immediate doors, work off of Allen. Now, with that Allen, you just go to the hole, you turn it, and the door lock. Guess what? They don't have Allen there. So when you talk to them today, that's what they're going to do. They're going to start setting up with the doors, just automatically lock, where they lock. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible. So these are things that everybody knows. I'm talking to everybody. So when you look out here, so now what we got is, you don't have to worry about it. But they're set up where they already locked. Right? What's that? Okay, now, but you put some table over there, whatever you want. A lot of those little trash cans, whatever you need to do. Time is everything. And I know what we've done. 5 minutes to 5. 5, I have 5 minutes. So he's going to start with us. I don't know what this is. He's surprised me that he started on the wrong side of the parking lot. And you got that much time to look out and somebody get out of the hallway and basically this crazy ball guy wasn't even off the parking lot. Now you're a bad guy. And you see guys, you got another 7 doors out there that they work with a little bit out. So I'm gonna give y'all a little time, but huddle up, get you a drink of water, everything, and then we're gonna begin. Any questions? Everybody get a drink. Okay, guys. Some of you, when we start, like I said, some of you can be out in the hallway. It's a real break, right? So we'll break with the land movie, right? So even if you're in the restroom, if you're in the restroom, guess what, guys? There's doors out there. There's hospital doors. And today, and from today on, if we come to your store and you say door shop, we're going to use the door shop technique. Everybody got that? But if you do not, we come in. Lisa! Okay, guys, this is the morning announcement. This is the morning announcement. Everything over. The end on. Y'all know who Sunday is, right? Well, with my husband. We just heard it this morning. You know, he beat her up real bad last night. He beat her up real bad, and guess what? She came to work today. He's out in a special case. She did some counseling and everything. But I hear her husband like coming up here. Does everybody know how Shelly husband look? No. Well, Shelly's husband, he's about 5'9", he's bald-headed, and he's mean. And for some reason, I always wear a camera. I don't know what his issue is. But these are the things. Guys, he's really dangerous. He's really dangerous. So I want y'all to be on the lookout in case you Okay, guys, come on in.
Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in.
Who are you?
No, come on now. It's over. Come on now. For real. Yeah, all right, come on, where's the time? Hey, it's over for real. We gonna talk. I don't even know where everybody else is. Wow. Wow. Let me tell you guys. Wow. Wow.
Because we ran down that hill, no shoes on.
I don't know where everyone else is. Oh, in the kitchen, come on out.
No.
There you go. So I guess I gotta give y'all a code word. Y'all won't let us in.
Okay, so you guys running out there.
I'm clear. I'm clear. It's all last 4 hours. There we go. Oh, I'll get this on the that's great. Okay. Oh, yeah, Now, I can tell you that, that's some of the biggest movements that we some of the slightest things we got to and then the other part about it is, guess what? We're not talking about the allocation on the outside doors. Right, they're right there on the ledge. They're right on the ledge. I didn't say where it is.
I'm not going for that. I'm getting out.
Yeah. Okay. But there is, we'll show you where the alley is out there. Because it's right there, you can see. It's right there. It's like this. Right at our level. But you just go in and we'll show you how the alley is. You just stick it in that hole and you just turn. And then allow the door to open up. And so that's what we lock that outside. the trainers as well. If you're not here on time, guys, the door's gonna be what? It's gonna be locked. Right? And that's just for your sake. That's for your sake. If they want to get in, they can knock someone to do at least go through. So I tell you guys, you did a great job. The women at the door, shutting the door top, you know, and just say, you get the small doors, you get the rubber ones, you get the metal ones, all kinds of things to stick under those doors, and no one will ever do it. We'll say what you want. And next time you train out, you gotta stop over with a road bird. So they're gonna let me over there, over here.
Here they come. So you know what running looks like, right? Everyone was moving so quick. Everyone was so quick. Once you were inside, that's you got out of the way. You knew that high. Don't look at that when you're out trying to get out. I just right on now. Watch out! Right? So, even without that book there, so even without the watch out, guys, that's what we're at. We're at the lock spot. Like I told you before, guys. Outside there, whatever changing, that hour is over here, right? The doors still out there. You lock those out doors, you get in. But we came in here mad and couldn't find anybody. Couldn't find anybody. Even when we looked out the windows. I don't know where you guys are. So I want you to envision this, guys. You're in your office here. You're in your office. And something goes back, you hear that sound from over the intercom or whatever you hear, whatever type of alert system that you guys established to be in place. You hear it go off. Now you have an idea of what to do. Every day you should be visualizing. I don't want you to visualize something bad happening every day, but I want you to visualize that you have a plan. You know, start walking those routes. We're going to come up with those running points. So when you guys run outside, everybody's going to the same location. Right? We go try it. Let everything on the table for you guys to run. You guys have any questions though, anytime? Any questions, go ahead. Nobody have any questions? Yes.
Well, did you say the Allen locks on the outside of the door?
No, so as soon as you work out this first set of doors, they're right there inside. So you just take it.
And I'm on this door or the one, the next.
Well, what's going to happen now? We already talked to them. When we first got here, we talked about the planning. What do you do if something goes bad in here and you have it? And so they had to start thinking too. So we told them, we said, okay, well, these doors they don't have the Allen wrench to do it, but they can lock these doors. So when these doors are closed, no one, if you pull on the door, you can't get in. So that's how it's going to be from now on. When you come here, those doors will be closed, so nobody can get in unless you decide to let them.
So we should make sure there's no keys. I'm sorry.
Well, what we're going to do, I'm gonna talk to Tressa. So whenever you guys decide that you're going to rent this place out, you know, for your training or whatever you do, we'll always make sure that we have these things in place. Because we always now know we got to have a plan, no matter where we're training. We got to have a plan. So these are some of the checklists that we're going to go down. We make sure that the event location that we're going to be at, that you do that. What's your evacuation plan? What do you have in place? You know, do you have safe rooms? You know, do you have these things already? If not, collectively, you guys already know. If you in here, it's gonna keep remembering. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep on training. You know, keep on training. Some days when they have moments, we're gonna just come down here or wherever we are, we'll be able to come to your location. Sometimes when you have it close, where you can actually do it in your office space. That's how it usually takes place. But I know right now, you know, the way you guys are working on it, we couldn't actually be at your facilities. But I just want you to think about it, those doors there. I'll show Angela and everyone that needs to know the black shades that go right up at the door. You know, you could just drop those things down. Real simple. And those fighting stances that we talked about, when you interviewing someone, you're talking to them, guess what? You gotta start looking for different signs, guys. You gotta look for signs of aggression. And when you see those signs, I want you guys to go and start talking to people with your hands in your pocket. One of the places that I went to was an outreach program where we would go out into the wooded area. We would go out into the encampments where the people are setting up shop, where they have their own houses and everything out there. And one of the things I thought that, wow, we're doing such a great thing. These folks, we're going to get them some housing, get them all that stuff. And once we got into the woods, they didn't want no help. They were happy right there where they were. You know, one of the great things about your place, I think about all the time when you talk about meeting people where they are. Yeah, meeting them right there where they are. That's what you guys do. You meet people right there where they are. And sometimes that can be dangerous. So we always, even though we're given so much of ourselves, be prepared. Remember how to stand when you're talking to people. You stand just like this when you're talking to someone. If you're taking notes, instead of holding your head down here like this, you can bring your notepad up and write with your notepad up in the air. That way you can see all around you. You know, these are things that are important. If it's two of you and you're interviewing someone, you can use the contact and cover principle. And what that contact and cover principle means is that one person is going to do all the talking, and the other person is just watching the body language of the person, watching for any type of bulges, anything that may cause harm or may indicate some type of violence that's about to happen. So these are things that you can practice amongst yourselves, right? Start developing. We're going to send you guys information on the safety bags. A safety bag is a safety bag that can have door chocks in it. It can have zip ties, because sometimes the doors may not have locks on it, but you can zip tie the top part of it, like we'll show you on there. You can zip tie the part so they can't even open the door. Zip ties work. Everyone know what a zip tie is? Yep, zip ties work. You know, so even think about at one location that we go to, they developed a safety bag for everybody. In their safety bags, they got non-perishable canned goods inside of it. It has water, flashlights, all kinds of different things that you'll have that if you do go and you barricade yourself to a location, guess what? You got your safety bag there. You can stash these things all over different locations. So in places where we help you determine what is a nice place for you to safely place yourself, have that information in there. Like over at the hub, how many of you gonna be working at the hub? Okay, so we got some. Yeah. So what an amazing place if you guys haven't been over to the hub. You know, it's in the works of getting made up. But one of the things you gotta understand, where the hub is located, guys, you right there in the heart of everything. Our first day there, you notice two guys across the street. You know, they were watching us, we were watching them, but we were so excited about coming to do the assessment, we didn't pay no attention. I said, let me go outside and get my good camera. So I go outside to get my good camera, and chances are my eyebrows are like this. And I'm always looking and thinking, right? So I go outside, and there's those two guys. And they say, hey, you got any change? No, I don't have any change on me. I said, only thing I carry is credit cards, right? And I should have probably said that, because you know what he said? He said, there's an ATM right there. And there is. Yeah, and the ATM is going to be there, guys. So we got to be mindful of what we say and do. Right? And when we speak to people, we can't be afraid. Like when you guys are going out to do your outreach, how many of you going out to homes, doing home visits? How many of you go out and actually be out when you're doing, when you set up as vendors doing outreach at the fairs and stuff? How many of you doing that? Okay, so these are things that we gotta be mindful of even when we're out there. All the time, we act like we're a team. If you're expected to wear your St. Mary's shirt, wear your St. Mary's shirt. Right? Because one of the things I found out in the woods, and when it comes to the great people that want to meet you where you are, they want to dress like the folks too. And so one of the things that happens in the woods, your cell phone won't work, right? When you know the camera's fine, you find out you ain't got no cell phone charger. But one of the other things that happens, if the police are looking for you, whether it's the helicopter or whatever it is, you want to be able to stand out. You don't want to look like everybody. Right? So those are some of the things, and I know we're moving where they are, but sometimes just that Holy Spirit and everything that we give there is going to be so beneficial to them that it's going to be okay. They're going to see right through your clothes and know that you care. But these are just little tips of different things that we need to be aware of when we're out there. Another thing thing, one of the things that you guys do, you guys give syringes and all that. You do the syringe exchange. You're standing out there giving vaccinations in the breezeway and things. Some of the things that we're talking about doing is like even when you hear the pop-up vaccination site, when the ladies come out into the open and the cars are coming, and sometimes they don't even see that stop sign, so they zooming through. We're talking about just slightly moving those concrete barriers that you have holding the tent down, just moving those out just a little bit more so you guys can stand in between it. So when the cars come, they can't just come and hit you. You're in between the concrete barriers. Right? So it's just little things I'm telling you that are working in the background for you, that you got some wonderful people. You know, I keep saying Dr. Brewster and Miss Angela, I haven't had much interaction with the terrestrial. We're going to work together, but I'm just telling you, they care so much about you. And that's one of the things that a lot of companies don't do. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on. They tell you that they care about you, but they're doing nothing at all about it. So even at the places where we're talking about putting 3M safety tent up on your windows, where at some places right now, people can see inside. Like if you're working at the Spring Ridge Health Center, anybody work there? Wow. Right? So right now, people can walk up and they can look right inside, see all the business that's going on, because they can see right inside. But we're talking about providing you with some 3M safety tent, which you'll be able to see out, but they won't be able to see in, and give you a little bit more privacy there. We're talking about setting up, giving you better security action on the door there, so somebody just can't come full and walk into your place of business. Now, 3M safety tent, guys, is window tent that you can put up on the windows. You can get any kind of design you want. You can get dark, you can get where you can see either way, or you can just see out and they can't see in. But this window tent, you can take anything and try and break it. I don't care how much you do, you're trying to break it, it takes forever. So if someone is an active shooter, we know they got to move quick. They think it quick. They're not going to waste time. So this is just another thing that we're putting in place, you know, for you guys' safety. So I'm telling you, we don't want you guys to think of this as, you know, a one-time thing, us coming to you. We want to develop this as a relationship. You know, I'm a security consultant here. So if you guys got anything going on at your place of work and you need some help with it or a question about something, we come and we brainstorm. We'll sit down and we'll talk about it and figure out how to make it work. You're at your individual locations. Once you get back there and you got questions, we'll come back down. We'll go through your actual location to show you, okay, this is how you can barricade here. Look at this, at your own individual location. But today we just wanted to give you a visual of what to do. Run, hide, or fight. Any questions on anything? Don, you have anything for us? Angela, you have anything? Let me tell you guys, it's such a pleasure working with you all, and I'm so thankful. Everybody joined in. Nobody was not punching or kicking or anything, because there's nothing to be embarrassed about here. Some guys have never been in a fight before in their life, but we always got to encourage each other. We got to keep uplifting each other every day, guys, because your job is hard. Your job is hard. Nobody wants to do your job. They want the money, but they don't want to do your job, right? So just think of that. We're so grateful to you. We're thankful for you. We want you to be thankful for each other. And anything that we can do at PSL Consulting, we're here for you. We'll be right there. It takes us 2 hours to get here, but it was a beautiful drive. It was a beautiful drive. And get prepared for the ride-alongs. We're going to have a great time on those ride-alongs. We're going to go out there and we're going to learn a whole lot. We're going to laugh, but we're going to learn. You know, because there's certain tips that you need to know when we're going up there and we're knocking on people's doors. We're also providing you guys with a safety bulletin that's going to be coming out. It's a safety booklet it'll have everything in there from even before you get to work, how you should start off thinking, your mindset even prior to coming to work, getting your mind right before you get here. Because you guys, you can't come to work any kind of way. You can't. You can't because you take on so much every day. That if you come in with your mess already, there's going to be a chance that you're going to explode on somebody that don't deserve it, right? So just think, love each other, know you're going to do that. But we did talk about even safety at the residence, safety when you're using that ATM machine, safety when you're going to and from your car. You know, free things that you can use like Google Earth and different things. Like if you're going up to these different sites, that you can go right on Google Earth and look at your house. Sometimes if you look at your house right now, you'll see your car parked there, right? So anybody can find where you are. Anybody. So one of the things you can use prior to you going out into these different locations, you can do Google Earth to see the location so you'll know whether you have to parallel park, which is hard for some of us, right? Or whether you can back in, which is so much better because if you got to come out and there's an emergency, you don't have to worry about maneuvering. You just pull out and go. There's other things that you can see when you're looking at Google Earth. You can see the house next door to it. A lot of times, guys, we just focus on the house we're going to. We don't see the abandoned house next to it, where people are sleeping in all the time. They come out on you at any given time. You can do Maryland Judiciary. You hear that? That's that gap thing. You hear that Judiciary? It was really judiciary. You know what I'm saying? Maryland Judiciary case search. But what you can do on there, the client that you're going to go see, you can look up on there to see the history. It's all public information to see if they were involved in any type of violent activity or anything, just to give you an indication of what you might be getting yourself into. Yes.
Is there a way to set it up? Because I know with dispatch, when we get 911 calls, they tell us before we go out in an ambulance, they'll tell us how many times they've dialed 911, what they went there for, this, that, and another. We work so well with emergency services already. Is there a way that we can do that beforehand and get that information?
Well, one of the things that you can do, prior to going out, see, you need to establish yourself a checklist, right? So prior to you going out, visiting these people's homes, we need to call them. We call them and give them a little rundown of what we plan on doing because we got to let them know what we're doing. So we're not there a whole long time. We want to know who lives with you. Right? Because it's all about privacy. We want to make sure that, it's a private thing. We want to know who lives there. Who's going to be at the house when we come? Do you have any dogs or any pets whatsoever? You may have allergies. You're sitting there trying to work with somebody and just sneezing and everything else. So these are simple things that you can ask. That's going to help you once you get out there. You can call the local, this is the sheriff's department here. So you don't have to ask them to come and be where you are, but you can just let them know, hey, look, I just wanted to call and give you guys, this is what we're going to be doing in the community. This is where we're going to be. These are the houses that we're going to be servicing. And if it's something private, you think, well, you can't do that. You can just say, I'm going to be in this neighborhood. Can you tell me anything about it before I be in there? If we're going to be in that neighborhood, this is what we wear. All our employees have some type of identification on them. If you drive a car, right? I don't know if they provide you guys with cars when you go out, but if they do or if they don't, make sure you guys can even have a little placard in your window because sometimes even when you drive in a bad neighborhood, if they know that you're there to help, they look at it a different way. They look at it a different way. So make sure that you guys are out there identifying yourself. You can notify the local authorities. Hey, this is what we're doing. We're coming into your neighborhood. If you hear 911 or whatever the case may be, we're in there. So that way they'll be looking out for you guys. They hear that 911 call, they know that St. Mary's County Health Department is in there doing some work. So all these just little things, and we'll have different classes that'll bring all that out to you guys. That'll be real beneficial to you. So it's 3:45. So if everybody's got it and nobody has any questions about anything, we're gonna set you guys free and let you have a good day. It's up to Miss Angela. She can come and she gives the thumbs up on that. But once again, we truly thank you guys for the opportunity to allow us to come out and serve you. What you see is what you get in me. And I'm like this all the time. It don't change much. So I'm here if you need me. Gavin.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, guys.